Thank you all for coming tonight. I'd like to have you all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, everybody. All right, I'd like to start out tonight's meeting with a roll call.
Ron Alberico.
I'm here.
Greg Bickus.
Here.
Barb Boyce.
Here.
Barb Delaney.
Here.
Dean Morelli.
Here.
Lorianne Shankstead. Here. Thank you.
All right, everybody should have in their packet the minutes from the last meeting of the last month. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barb Boyce,
Second.
by Barb Delaney, second. Any questions in the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it, thank you. In your packet, you have the bills of $1,820.46. I do need a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barb Delaney,
I'll second it.
a second by Barb Boyce. Any questions on the bills? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Greg Bickus.
Yes.
Barb Boyce.
Yes.
Barb Delaney.
Yes.
Dean Morelli.
Yes.
Ron Alberico.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Motion carries. All right, any citizens wishing to address the board here tonight? Please, for the record, state your name.
Delinda Herring, 302 Riley Avenue, Lockport, Illinois. Good evening, Supervisor Alberico and Township Trustees. I'm here tonight as President of the Fairmount Community Partnership Group to speak on behalf of our residents. On MLK Martin Luther King Day this year, I listened to Stud Turkle's train ride from Chicago to Washington, D.C. He recorded the feelings and reactions of various people on the train, some who he met upon arriving in D.C. for the March on Washington. Most interesting were the number of non-black people who also realized there was a problem with the way people of color were being treated in the U.S. in 1963. Fast forward 57 years, and people of color are still demanding fair treatment. Supervisor Alberico, I want to set the record straight. The $2.5 million offer from Aqua was never disclosed prior to the December meeting. Residents were never offered any options for choosing Aqua. I, Shriver National Center on Poverty Law, and others submitted FOIAs requesting the negotiations with Aqua. All FOIAs were denied with a legal notice from the attorney. Now that $3.5 million in community development block grant funds have been identified for our infrastructure upgrades, there is no doubt that putting Fairmont's water under the complete control of the City of Joliet is our best option. The township signed a contract with 13 Construction for $10,500 per month. To make matters worse, 13 Construction received 3 months' pay to sever their contract with the township. They didn't attend any meetings after November. This is proof that no work was done. That's a total of $31,500. Why are you okay paying someone for 3 months to do no work, yet you are reluctant to return monies you all know belongs to Fairmont residents? Supervisor Alberico, you stated at the December meeting that Fairmont residents didn't want the township to manage our water system. I want to set the record straight. I don't recall anyone from Fairmont ever making such a statement. We did, however, take issue with the way the system was being managed and requested changes, and we definitely took issue with the number of decisions being made regarding our water revenue. Specifically, paying $10,500 a month or $126,000 annually starting in May of 2017 to a utility manager who subcontracted all major work like water main breaks. Paying $7,000 monthly for billing services. Not allowing Fairmont residents a meaningful voice on decisions affecting our water revenue. Fairmont nominated 3 individuals to represent Fairmont on an ongoing basis. This board's answer was no. And we objected to the $5,000 monthly repayment of the $625,000 lawsuit from our water revenue. This was a lawsuit Fairmont residents never asked for. As of 3:22 p.m. on February the 3rd, this water board meeting was not listed on the Lockport Township website, despite the fact I spoke directly with your supervisor regarding this omission. Last month's water meeting wasn't listed at all. All other township dates were posted weeks ago. Please know that Fairmont residents are equally anxious to sever this relationship. Simply tell the Fairmont community that we will be reimbursed our surcharge monies and tap-on fees, and we will gladly never address this board again regarding Fairmont water and sewer services and refunds. I'm in talks with Lewis University about doing a documentary on the Fairmont Lockport Township water history. I believe it depicts a cautionary tale of how people of color have been discriminated against for decades. When we forget our history, there is a good chance it will be repeated. HUD, Housing and Urban Development, tasked the township with providing water. The township did a poor job as the administrator, and the residents of Fairmont were the biggest losers. I've always said that we're fighting for our children and grandchildren, and for all the seniors who have endured the substandard management of their water and sewer system for decades. What has happened to Fairmont isn't going to fade into the woodwork, not on my watch. There is much many can learn from what happened in Fairmont, and with the help of Lewis University's media department, it will be documented for eternity. My gut told me to walk away after this water department was dissolved, as I've spent more than 2.5 years fighting for Fairmont's water. However, I feel I have a duty to record this fiasco into the history books, and I have renewed strength, knowing I'll never have to address this board on this matter again, or attend another water meeting. Supervisor and trustees, you will get to fill in the history that goes before the final period is placed in the history of Fairmont's water. Tonight, the Fairmont community is demanding this supervisor and trustees do the right thing and refund the surcharge monies and tap-on fees owed to the Fairmont residents. I am aware that at least 20 years of records have been either lost or destroyed. However, your water department knows who they billed every month, and you can't have a bill unless someone paid the tap-on fee. The summary of these monies: if all residents are in good standing and paid in full, we're talking about 15 months at $7.50 times 880 households, that's $99,000. $60 tap-on fee times 880 households is $52,500. This is a total of $151,200. Everyone sitting at your table knows the surcharge fee was assessed to prove to the administrators of the IEPA loan that Fairmont residents were able to repay the infrastructure upgrade loan of $3.5 million. You applied for the loan, but it was never granted. At that time, the surcharge should have ended, and all surcharge monies collected up to that point should have been refunded. even after Joliet's takeover was proving to be a done deal. And on August 12th, after Supervisor Alberico asked for a motion to discontinue the surcharge, the trustees wouldn't approve the motion and the matter was tabled until the September meeting. How can you justify keeping our money? As this is quite possibly our very last meeting before we leave tonight, we want to know your plans for refunding monies owed to Fairmont residents. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Is there anybody else wishing to address the board? Obviously there is. Please state your name for the record.
Hi, my name is Rachel Ventura. I'm currently Will County Board Member for District 9. And I am here to reiterate what Belinda has said. The $7.50 surcharge fee should be returned. It was meant to update the system and get it up to repair so you guys could get your loan. Obviously, the county has stepped in to help facilitate public water through the city of Joliet. Money was spent but from the community block grant money. And so the people of Fairmont should have their money returned to them, since that is not what it was intended. It was intended for one use, it was not used for that, it needs to be returned to the people. So as the county board member for this district, I am asking this board, before they dissolve, to return the money back to the residents of Fairmont. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any other citizens wishing to address the board here tonight? Hearing none, we'll move on. Thank you. And I do take all your comments to heart. I understand where you're coming from. All right. I have no old business. Well, actually, all of this stuff is old business. It's under new business, which should be under new business. First thing on the agenda tonight would be the transfer of water bank accounts to the checking account number 1566, effective March 1st, 2020. That is just a housekeeping thing, just to get the money into one spot, and we're going to turn it over to the town, because this will be our last town water board meeting. So I do need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barb Delaney, second by Barb Boyce. Any questions?
I just have a kind of like a question or comment. You're saying the money is being moved to the town fund, but it's not being put into a different account. It's going to stay in this water account, except since there will be no more water meetings, that money, if there is issues, will be handled at the town meetings from now on. But the money's still going to be there.
Right. We're going to keep it in that account, the checking account, that separate account. It's just for, what do you want to call it, auditing purposes, because we don't want to have to audit next year, because this is the end of our fiscal year. You'll have its final audit, and then it will be audited in the actual town, with the town. But it will stay in that checking account. Any other questions?
Yeah, Ron, I have two questions. I'm going to say all water bank accounts. How many accounts are there and what is the balance?
You got them all on the sheet now.
I think that's in the packet.
There's 6 of them.
There's a total of how many? Six?
6.
Six accounts? Okay, the last page. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you can get that in your packet every month.
Okay.
It's all going to be transferred into the same, or the checking account, and moved over to the town, the record people.
Okay. So just for record, everybody had heard that there's a total of 6 different accounts, and the total of all those accounts is $335,574.91. And that is the amount you're asking us to approve transferring to the town fund.
Well, we'll tell her you're at that point, I'm sure there'll be some bills and stuff,
Okay.
you know, and so we sign payroll, taken out of that. And any money's coming in, I still, as of this morning, I was at the post office box, I still have checks coming in. but things are fluctuating still. We
Okay.
think after 3 months, everything will be caught up so we can all of this. So, yeah, but it'll all be in that, all go to that checking account.
Okay.
Any other questions? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Dean Morelli,
Yes.
Ron Alberico,
Yes.
Greg Bickus,
Yes.
Barb Boyce, Barb Delaney.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. The next thing on the agenda, surety claim paperwork and procedures for property owners before 1997. We've had that on the agenda last month. There were some questions on the paperwork. We made it a little simpler, I believe. I think I sent it out to everybody for their opinion, find out if this is what they wanted. And I didn't get any comment back, so I have it on the agenda to approve basically what it is. That I think again, the miscellaneous.
Ron, what did it look like? I don't remember this either. I don't remember this either.
I'm sorry, what?
I do not remember receiving one. What did it look like?
You haven't gotten it yet. We're deciding whether we're going to do it. That's what we're doing here tonight. We're going to send it. Basically, it's prior to 1997, just so I can let everybody understand what we're doing here. Prior to 1997, I don't know what happened to the records. 1997 was a long time ago. Prior to that, we have all the records from 1997 forward. We're paying already, we already paid a lot of surety checks out to the people, reimbursement. It's the people before 1997. If you've lived in your house prior to 1997 and you're still living in that house today, we're asking you to fill out this form, and this pretty much tells us that if you lived there in 1997 or prior, and you're still living there today, you probably paid that surety check. You fill out this form, we're going to send it to you. But you have to go through that process of letting us know. And then I think a procedure was set that we're going to, make sure if you're telling us the truth, that you actually live in that house. We'll check the records with the assessor's office that you lived there back then. If everything matches, everything's good.
Do you have?
It's my opinion, you probably should get the check. I'm sorry, ma'am, we're having a meeting, you can't just interrupt, please. You've got to follow the rules here. But yeah, we're going to send, if everything works out, we will send that check back if that's approved here tonight with that paperwork. So,
I'm sorry to interrupt, Ron. The question that I had though is, Delinda had mentioned something about tack-on fees.
that's the surety.
Okay, same thing. Okay, thank you.
The surety, we have been paying those back, we're going to prior to 97, because that's what we should be doing. It's the ones before 1997, and we have no record.
Okay.
But we're trying to give this form out to people, if you're there, to probably pay
So all you're asking is for proof of
Proof.
ownership of the
of
property?
the house. And,
Okay.
Then you lived there in 1997.
Okay.
So that being said, we're going to give that surety check back to people, tap-on fee. Now, I do also want to make clear, we're sending your tap-on fee money back, $60. Joliet isn't charging you $60 now because the county is stepping up and paying that money for you. So you are getting your sureties paid through the Will County. So we are saving that $60
Nothing to do with your
tap-on
money.
that we're going to be sending back. The way I understand it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know. That's the way I understood it. So the motion would be to approve the paperwork and procedures to pay back surety checks of the property owners before 1997.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barb Delaney, second by Barb Boyce. Any questions?
Well, I guess my question would be, how do we let the residents know about this procedure? I know there's mention about posting it on the website. Unfortunately, there are large groups of people who do not use the computer discuss it into great length as far as what the best or proper procedure would be to get these forms out to the residents. I don't know if any of the board members have any suggestions other than, I know it would be a waste to mail it to every residence because, as you said, there's only a
I think it's gonna be a small percentage of people.
prior to 97 that we don't have record of. But
Obviously, this meeting has a good crowd. You know, people do communicate with each other there. I'm hoping that everybody here, I know a fair amount of community organization is here. I would hope that you would reach out to all the residents and let them know that this possibility is there. If they've been there for, 40 years, let us know. Fill out the paperwork. Forms will be here at the office. We will put it on the website. It's a little too late for me to get it into the newsletter.
Can we make up a flyer and like put it in the Fairmont community?
I have no objection.
Would that do it? We like put something to help the residents over in the community building?
I mean, there's going to be so many residents who don't go to the community center.
Okay.
I think if we could hit each household individually with a letter.
So
Or a postcard.
Do we have a record of all the people that we've refunded surety to?
So far, I think there's a list in there.
Well, that's a monthly list. We have a total number of the refunded surety to, correct?
I'm sure we have a list of the ones that we already sent out.
Yeah, you can, under your bill list for the last couple of months, you've had it all, everybody who's received money back so far.
Every month.
So why don't we take that list that we sent money to, delete them from the total list and send a postcard out? That both of these procedures, if they get approved tonight, are available.
That's still,
You said some of them are
To
unknown, right?
To the residents, it's on the water. If they feel that how much is a postcard going to cost?
well, my thought is, we're sending it to every household. Most of the households have been new residents since 1997. Let's face it, people move every 7 years. We're
If
talking
they
about-
haven't received their surety check yet, this will be a way to make them aware that this program is available to get their surety back.
Well, I don't know how the heck we can do that, because we don't have that on the agenda. Mr.
Well, we could amend the form and say,
We amended the form, we sent it out to you, asked you, please let us know. and you
this is
didn't let us know.
coming, that people have asked me about this, so I'm bringing it up.
Why do you, we asked you at the last meeting, we sent it right out to you, said, please comment, let me know, and I heard nothing, and now
The
tonight.
form
you're
looks
lying.
good, but do we need to have another meeting to approve sending out a letter? I don't think so. I think we can do that without.
Can we vote on a letter tonight? Is that on the agenda?
Before 1997, they should see some after.
I'm sorry, sir. Sir, please, we're having a meeting. It's our board. We have the floor.
here, I would say that since there are two issues that we're speaking about, two separate issues, and we still haven't gotten to the surcharge yet. Because if, depending on how that goes, we might have two issues to notify the residents about according to our packet, like how would the residents who pay the surcharge. I would have thought, and I don't want to jump ahead, that we would have definite records on surcharge, and there wouldn't have to be a form to be filled out. But now given the packet, because it wasn't like this last month. But if we're going to have residents also fill out a form to refund their surcharge, then that could be put together with the 30, it could be put on a letter form, and it could be mailed to every resident, whatever the cost may be. That way, as far as the township, we are covered that the residents were notified, and if they had money coming, we want to get it back to them.
Yes.
So, I don't know if the attorney has got a voice in on that. Maybe we have to get to the passage or non-passage of the other issues that are on the agenda to find out. Because last month we did not discuss having a form for the return of the surcharge.
You did ask last month, you did ask for the procedures, and that's the procedure we're going to take.
Okay, so now you're telling me that. So we do not have, well, I asked, do we have the capability of returning the surcharge to the residents that paid it?
Yes, yes, we do.
Correct, yes.
We do, without this form.
Without, yes,
Without
that's true.
the
This just
surcharge.
is consistency, clarity, it's a very simple form. But yes, you do have the ability to return the surety without this. But this is public record, it's clear. Everyone knows what to do and what proof is required.
Right, for the surcharge.
Correct.
Now the surcharge. We're asking them to fill out a form also.
It should all be consistent. For the surcharge, you don't need it, but it's good to have for records and for consistency.
Okay, so if we're going to ask them to fill that out, I mean, you're saying we don't need it, but we're going to recommend it.
Correct.
So why not? Greg said, just put it together, send it to everybody so they have it, and if they are qualified, if they have been paying the surcharge, if they did pay the surety, then we'll know.
First, we got to decide if we're doing that.
No, I understand that, that's like I said, I didn't want to jump ahead here,
Yes.
but it seems, we don't want to prove,
All we're asking for now is if we're going
But
to
Dean
send
is
this
correct, though.
documentation to the surety.
If you're gonna set a procedure and need to make an amendment,
I'm
it is
sorry.
correct though.
Rachel,
Well, but you have a legal obligation to notify your residents of this, you just do.
And
So if
we
he
are
wants to
in
make
open
an
meetings.
amendment, if he wants to make an amendment, this is the time to do it. Once
Rachel,
he
we
passes
are
it,
in a
you can't go
meeting
back and
here,
make
and
the amendment.
you know the rules of order.
Well, then let
You're
the
on
lawyer
board,
tell you.
And you've had your chance to get up and talk.
Right, but I didn't know you
And
guys were gonna
please,
start with
I would-
the
I would
procedure, the
ask
Robert's
you
Rules of
to
Order.
Respect this floor, and respect this board, and not talk out of turn. That's what I would. You too, sir. Please, let us run our meeting the way we're supposed to.
If this is the procedure and the protocol, because what you are passing is the paperwork and procedure. You do not need it. However, for this motion, what is on here, you need. That's not, if there's any miscommunication regarding that, if the board wants to make an amendment for a following meeting, think about it for the next month, come back and have this paper, not have this paper, have an amendment to the paper, or to this form, that's fine. But if this motion is passed as is, what is on this paper is on this paper, and then it must be used going forward for every resident before next month.
They can amend the motion and vote on it tonight though.
Correct.
All right, all I'm trying to do is get this thing to come to a conclusion, this water report, tonight. Because I don't want to have to go to the next year's audits and pay a lot of money for another audit. And that's what, I'm just trying to get people to get their money back. Quit arguing about this thing, because this whole thing is, it's not a discussion of whether we're going to give the money back or not. It's just figuring out who gets the money on the survey. And before 1997, we don't have the records, accurate records, so the only thing we can do is ask the residents to fill out a form, let us know you have it coming. We're doing this in an open meeting, we're talking about flyers. I can't go to everybody's house and ask them. Unless one of our board members wants to go to every house.
My thing is,
They're welcome to do that.
Ron,
Excuse me.
well, the discussion was not that, the discussion, I don't think any of the board has a problem with the form. The discussion was how to make the residents aware of the form. That's the discussion. And okay, we can approve the form, and then we can move forward, and then I guess we can discuss the best way to notify the residents.
I have a question for the attorney. Can we amend the procedure tonight and vote on it and approve it tonight?
Yes.
Okay. So that's, I think, what Dean and I were asking. If we
Well, how do you want to amend it? That's my case. I don't know how you want to amend it.
Well, I haven't.
Well, first we need to put this.
This procedure could be started with number one, township sends out notification to all residents that are on the water list. It can be amended that way and it will not cost us that
If you
much
guys want to
money.
send letters out to everybody, I guess we can do that. I think it's a waste.
Well, I see a lot of other ways we waste money within this township, so I think we should do our
Well, let me tell you, you approve all the waste. As a trustee, you're approving those waste. So if there's waste.
I don't approve the budget we propose.
We're not having a budget meeting here. Let's get back on this track.
Well,
Please.
I'm not approving any bills right now. Let's talk about what's at hand instead of,
Yes, let's get on track.
Well, if you make the forms, I'll pass them out in Lockport Township myself.
Excuse me,
In
sir.
Fairmont Township, I will pass them out. Door to door.
so,
Please,
So-
let's keep these things under control. All we're trying to do is.
we have a motion. We have a motion now to approve the surety
You know what?
as
I don't know what to
adopted.
do. I asked my attorney, what do you want me to do?
There can also be, if the money is transferred to Lockport Township, that can also, the township can also make, can put on their agenda as well to send out their money to. If that's a possibility.
You know what they bills, mine just see the damn paper. That's all you gotta do. You won't have to worry about it.
I have no, all I'm trying to do is get this form passed. And everybody's on board, or let's vote on it.
Is the form and procedure in the same motion?
Yes,
Yes, it is.
So, can I amend the motion
yes.
to amend
You make the
the
motion.
procedure?
You make the motion.
I'll make the motion to amend it
How would you like to amend the motion?
the way Dean and Greg said to do it. Both of these should be mailed out to all residents and elected.
All 60,000 residents of the township?
No,
not
all residents that were on the water.
All 800?
Correct.
Minus the ones you've already refunded.
All right. I'm all for it then. You guys want to invest that money for that?
Well, I believe that notifying every resident
It's not a waste.
of Fairmont community is the proper thing to do, just because they've got monies coming back, or 30.
Most of the people got their, or not most of them, a lot of them got their service.
But you're also letting them know about the surcharge.
Correct.
And then we have to get their
If we decide to
signature.
give them a surcharge, we haven't even made that decision.
Well, that's part of this,
That's another
part of
half
this
hour.
vote that we're gonna be approving, so I'd like to, can we, make that amendment to notify via U.S. Postal Service of all water customers?
Can we at least cut out the ones we already sent the checks to?
Yes.
But the surcharge.
We haven't even gotten to that yet. We'll deal with
So
when we
that
get
procedure, but the only thing is, in order to close this out within a reasonable amount of time, I think we should have included a timeline. I think 120 days from today's meeting would be an appropriate amount of time to allow people to turn this paperwork in. So we should add that at the end, so that whatever date it is, 120 days from now, that we make that the end of, that's the last date that this application can be submitted. If we don't put that on here, we're opening ourselves up to somebody 6 years down the road to come and say, hey, I paid the surcharge, can I get my money back?
I thought we had a date on that, didn't we?
No, you and I just talked about it.
I think we should have a date, yes, you're right.
I agree with the date, but maybe I would extend it, I don't know,
180 days? 6 months?
6 months maybe, that way.
But this thing might take some people time to get the paperwork and all that, so.
6 months. I mean, the money's gonna, we already voted with the money in separate account, the money's gonna be there, so after 6 months,
rephrase your motion, Barb?
Yeah, I'm so lost and confused, I don't even know what that is.
Well,
I'd like to go with the advisement of the way the attorney should say that we should word it now at this point. I mean, do we make it clear as to what we want to get done?
So to clarify, under the procedure, we want, for number one, we want to have received completed application paperwork from property owner within 180 days of February 10th, 2020, claiming they paid a surety deposit before 1997.
To be notified by mail.
Just step one, just want to make sure.
Correct.
Okay. And then,
step 2 would be to notify every resident on the water rolls of these
That has to be service procedure, all right.
procedure and application.
is the intent of the board to have the mailing include the form or just an alert?
Include the form.
Okay. Okay, so just step one, that way we're not renumbering things, we can have step one be receive completed application paperwork from property owner within 180 days of February 10th, 2020, claiming they paid a surety deposit before 1997, period. All residents to be notified by mail with form.
I agree with that.
Okay. Then a motion to amend the procedure to include an amended step one and then to stay with that step one. Oh, absolutely.
Do I have a motion?
Hold on. Hold on. I know Barb Delaney, you took back your motion.
Correct.
Barb Boyce, did you take back? Okay, thank you.
So we'll have two motions. We'll have this motion to amend step one of the procedure, and then after that, then we'll have the original motion for surety claim paperwork and procedure for property owners before 1997.
Okay. I have a motion to,
Okay.
what's the motion? Also?
Motion to amend.
Let's have a motion to amend the procedures.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Barb Delaney,
Second.
second by Barb Boyce. We have a roll call. Any questions?
And then do
Any
I
questions?
read what the amendments are?
Okay,
Okay, so the first one to be, the amendments to be, the first one is to receive completed application paperwork from property owner within 180 days of our February 10th, 2020 meeting, claiming they have paid a surety deposit before 1997. And all residents to be notified by mail, including the form that needs to be filled out and returned to the township.
I got a motion. I have a second. Any discussion? Have a roll call, please.
Greg Dick,
Yes.
Barb Boyce,
Yes.
Barb Delaney,
Yes.
Dean Morelli,
Yes.
Ron Alberico.
I'll pass. Okay. Motion carries. Next, refund in the surcharge and paperwork procedures. Okay, that's,
the last one. According to the agenda, this is the last one.
yeah,
We
refund.
have to approve that. Then this is the paperwork.
So there's no sense,
Doing the paperwork and procedure, we don't approve that.
we'll go through that thing, so we're around.
Correct. That's
So,
what-
I think first we got to refund, first we have to approve the refund,
Correct.
which is the next one, and the paperwork and procedures. After we decide who it goes to? Why decide who goes to if we don't approve it?
Well, if we're not going to approve the surcharge to be returned, and there's no paperwork or procedure.
Well, refund the surcharge first. In the paper.
The first motion was for the surcharge and the procedures.
Right. Second,
So that's
approved.
approved.
The second.
I mean, that was, the first one was for the surety deposit and the procedure.
Wait, let me explain.
There needs to be a motion for the surety claim paperwork and procedure. We skipped over.
I thought we just, oh, sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry. I didn't skip that, we just amended.
I'll make a motion that we approve the return, the claim and surcharge.
No, hang on, we're ahead.
We're the surety, we first
Surety, I
amended.
forgot, we have to approve the surety claim paperwork that we just amended
Okay.
and the procedures. We need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barb Delaney,
A second.
second by Barb Boyce. Any questions? Have a roll call, please.
Ron Alberico,
Yes.
Greg Bickus,
Yes.
Barb Boyce,
Yes.
Barb Delaney,
Yes.
Dean Morelli.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Now, we're at the refund of the surcharge. Paperwork and procedure, all three.
I'll make that motion.
Let's make a motion to amend first. So that the
So would you
procedure.
make the motion any way you want? So go ahead and make the motion.
Make the motion to amend the paperwork and the procedures for the refund of the surcharge.
Okay. Is this what you want to hear?
And it is going to be amended that first, receive the completed application from the property owner, keeping it the same within 180 days of today's meeting of February 10th. They have 180 days to return the paperwork, and all residents will be notified by mail with the form and returned to the township.
Okay, I got a motion. And this is to return the surcharge. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I got a motion and a second. Any questions? Statements?
I do have one question, and what about people who are renting that pay the water bills? How do they go about receiving their refund for the surcharge?
That's the next motion. Let's discuss that at the next motion.
So, but
My thought is, we have an ordinance in place.
Well, you know what, do you want to just get through this one first and then go to that?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second.
Okay. I just want to make my comment, I guess. I know I'm probably the minority in the room. I feel pretty strongly that I made a promise that when we borrow the money from the town fund, $500,000, whatever it was, that we would do our best to pay it back. And we did do an intergovernmental agreement between the town fund and the water fund. And we, whether we want to not look at the elephant in the room or not, we owe the town fund $500,000. And we're not going to be able to pay it back. We give everybody surcharges and surety checks, and I think it's my opinion that we should pay the town fund back, whatever's owed. And we'll never be able to pay it all back anyway. And I think the 60,000 residents bailing out the 800 residents were really not being fair to us, 60,000 residents. That makes sense. So that's the way I feel about it. So if you guys want to give that surcharge back, that's your, take the vote, and it goes the way it goes, and I'd have to, I will go early, obviously. I have no issues with that. I feel it's going to probably pass, but I just want you all to know that I feel like I'm being forced into not being an honest politician, and I said I was going to be. That I was going to give this money back to the town fund, and we were going to pay the town fund back. And we're going back on our promises. Had we borrowed this $500,000 from the bank instead of the town fund, we would have to pay it back, whether we like it or not. It's a bill. We owe it. We promised. And we have it in ordinances and intergovernmental agreements that we would pay it back. And now we're saying that. I'll have to. So I don't feel good about it. But that being said, any other statements or questions?
Yeah, I'd like to make a comment. Reference to surcharge. I am one of the ones that do believe that money needs to go back to the residents that paid it. Just because it was put on the bills for a purpose and that purpose never happened. So that money needs to go back. As far as the lawsuit you bring up, we've discussed it.
I'm not talking about the lawsuit, I'm talking about
The loan which occurred because of the lawsuit. Okay, so after the warranty that gets here, there was a lot of discussion throughout the years. Unfortunately, trying to go back to 1970 and talk about the system being put in, the government did put in the system, which, you know, was the proper thing to do for the residents there, so they did get something. Yeah, throughout the years, maybe it wasn't run properly, and there have been lawsuits prior to this one that we're discussing. In early 1990, Joliet filed a lawsuit against the township for non-payment, and we didn't pay that. The federal government was never paid back the money they gave the township. So it was probably some things that weren't run right. So now we're to the point where, okay, now we've got to pay the town fund back, which I don't feel that needs to be done. I think that money should stay with the residents and be used at a later date, decided by the board on how it's going to be used.
As far as that lawsuit you're referring to Joliet, the case was dismissed with prejudice. It was like, if you were to sue me and the judge says you can't sue me, I still don't shoot you, even though.
But we never paid.
We didn't have to, it was dismissed.
Dismissed, but we still owed money. So,
Not during the charge. I mean, if it's dismissed, it means it didn't go through courts.
okay, so we can dismiss this, going back to the council.
We don't have, I'm not a judge, I don't have that ability to dismiss.
But I can make my own decision. My decision is to leave that money and not pay
Well,
that back.
that's fine.
Because of 23 years of the residents paying for attorney fees for these two suits that, okay, one went one way and one went the other way. I feel the residents
What about
pay
the other
those.
60,000?
Okay, here we go again. Now you're bringing something.
What about the other 60,000 residents?
You just asked if anybody else had something to say, and I said what I wanted to say.
Amen.
I'm not going to argue with you.
All right, so I'm feeling that the other 60,000.
And my feeling is the residents should keep the money.
Well, that being said, I've said, any other discussion?
I just want to I'm going to make just one quick comment that the intent of that $7.50 per month surcharge on the residents' bills was to go for an IEPA loan to help us, if we were going to still be in charge of repairing the water and so on. That has all changed. The city of Joliet took it over. So I'm going to have to say I'm in agreement with Trustee Morelli that the money is not being used for what we intended it to be, so it should be going back.
Have a roll call, please.
I think Trustee Vickers wanted to say
You
something.
want to say something there?
I also agree that we should be returning the money to the residents due to the fact that it was no fault of the residents that lawsuit came about, that this $500,000 is owed, or I'm not sure the exact amount of money that's owed to the township. But the people that were running the township were also running the water board at that point. So they're partially responsible for that. So the township is responsible for the reason that lawsuit came about. That's my reasoning for the money that's been paid in. And it wasn't used, it was collected for a specific purpose. It wasn't used for that purpose. So I think the only right thing to do is to return the money to the residents.
All right, anybody else? I'm sorry, I'm talking to the board, you don't get a vote.
So,
You know what you need to do is
that
run for
being
trustee,
said,
and then you get a vote.
the motion was to approve the form as it is.
Well, you made a-
But I'd like to.
She already amended it.
I understand she amended it, but the form says that I am verifying that I am currently the owner of the property, the above listed property. It should be the person that's paying the bill and not the property owner
Whoever's paying the
that
bill.
gets the money back.
So we don't pay the bill, I guess.
Whoever's name was on the account at the time.
Whose name is on the water bill?
Is responsible for the water. It's in the ordinance.
Okay, so
Let's get this done first before we decide.
Well, I don't want to vote on something if I'm not sure what I'm voting on.
But just to clarify, if I'm correct, with the ordinance is the same as like I'm going to go with the city of Crest Hill, if you're referring to like rental properties, the landlord is responsible for paying the water bill. Is that what our ordinance says? Okay.
Okay, so all the water bills are in the property owner's
Should be in
name,
dual.
not in the renter's name, is that correct?
Our ordinance reads that the landlord and the tenant are jointly responsible. Then at one time, the ordinance was amended to read the landlord and tenant are jointly responsible, but the landlord name is supposed to be on the bill.
Is
I don't want to-
the property owner on the bills, on the,
Right. I'm going, I'm sorry, I don't mean.
He was asking a question.
is the property owner's name on every bill?
If we have the property owner, if they notified us we are the property owner. A lot of times we aren't notified. I had a resident that came in, bought property 3 years previous and never notified us that that he was a new owner. We have no way of chasing down who owners actually are.
Shouldn't their name be on the PIN number that the...
The PIN number, yes, that's what it's gonna get cross-referenced
Okay.
to.
We can find out, we can find out.
So, but Chris, just for clarification, you said the ordinance said this once, then it said something. What does the ordinance say now?
The ordinance reads that the landlord and the tenant are jointly responsible and that the bill should be in the homeowner's name.
Okay.
All right. Can we make can we get a roll call?
Barb Boyce,
Yes.
Barb Delaney,
Yes.
Dee Morelli,
Yes.
Ron Alberico,
Yes.
Greg Bickus.
Yes.
Thank you, motion carries.
Okay, next. Refund of the surcharge will go to the property owner. I need a motion for that. And really, that's what our ordinance is saying.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
Wait. What you need to now do, because you just made a motion to amend the
Okay,
surcharge.
now we have to make a
So now you
motion.
gotta approve the procedures now.
Okay, I need a
I'll
motion.
make a motion, we approve the amended procedures and form.
I'll second.
Any questions? Hearing none, can I have a roll call?
Dee Morelli,
Yes.
Ron Alberico,
Yes.
Greg Bickus,
Yes.
Barb Boyce, Barb Delaney.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, now, a motion would be in order to refund all surcharges to the property owner.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Barb Delaney,
Second.
second by Greg Pickens. Any questions? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Dee Morelli,
Yes.
Ron Alberico,
Yes.
Greg Bickus,
Yes.
Barb Boyce,
Yes.
Barb Delaney.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. Well, I didn't think we'd get through it. This will be our last water board meeting. everything will be, as of the first of the month, the monies will be turned over to the town fund. It'll be stuck in a separate account, though, in the town fund. All bills that occur that are within the water district will be approved at the town fund in the town meeting. You know, as we approve the bills, like we always do, we'll approve two separately. The regular town board meeting, and we will have another approval of any water issues. So we roll it, those are separate accounts, and everything stays set. It's been hard this last year trying to figure everything out. It's kind of a bittersweet time for me to give up this water board. It's been a long time we've been doing it. Contrary to what this Herod has said how terrible we've done, I thought we've done a pretty doggone good job for what we've had for the years that we've done it. We did everything we could possibly do to keep the water bills low in the Fairmont area. This board inherited some bad issues with lawsuits through the years, and I think we gotten through those admirably. So we're still part of our township, so we'll still be seeing this. Hopefully you'll all come to the town meeting. Keep on keeping me up. Other than that, I think, unless there's anything else wants to say, I would call for an adjournment. I got a motion by Barb Joyce to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Barb Delaney. Those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.